So today we're going to dive into a really specific and, let's be honest, unconventional reading of the Bible. Our goal here is just to lay out the ideas from our source material. It makes some unique claims about hidden symbolism, global deception, and a path to enlightenment that it says is found right inside you. Let's get into it.
Okay, this quote right here, it's basically the key to understanding this entire belief system. It sets the stage with two huge ideas. One, that the world is under some kind of massive deception, and two, that the Bible actually holds the secret to waking up from it. You got to remember that, because everything else we're about to talk about is built on this foundation.
So here's how we're going to tackle this. We've broken it down into 4 parts. We'll start with this idea of a world of deception. Then we'll look at something called the counterfeit lion. After that, we're moving inward to the temple within you, and we'll finish up with how to unlock the inner kingdom.
All right, first up, a world of deception. Now, the source material kicks things off with a really sweeping claim about, well, pretty much everything. Our global systems, from governments to religions.
So the core argument is that our systems, we're talking governments and organized religions, aren't just a little flawed. Nope, they're in what's called active rebellion against the Creator's law. And according to this view, their main job is to hide the truth about who we really are and what reality is.
And to really get this, we have to get the terminology right. The source material is very specific. It avoids the common names for God and consistently uses the name Yahweh for the Creator.
And in that same way, the Messiah figure is called Yeshua and is described as the literal word of Yahweh. These two names, Yahweh and Yeshua, are absolutely central, so just keep them in your back pocket as we move forward.
And that leads us right into our second section, the counterfeit lion. This is where the source material starts using some really powerful symbolism to describe what it sees as the central conflict of our world, a battle against a massive spiritual counterfeit.
And this quote really nails it. The claim is that the world has been tricked into worshiping a false lion, a counterfeit of the true Lion of Judah, which is its symbol for Yeshua. So it sets up this really clear battle, the authentic original versus a really deceptive copy. So how does the source identify this counterfeit? Well, this is where it makes a very specific and definitely controversial claim about language. It asserts that the name Jesus actually translates to horse in Hebrew, and that the horse is used as a symbol for the serpent, a figure of deception. So you can see that conflict laid out pretty clearly here. On one side, you've got the Lion of Judah, that's the true Messiah, Yahusha, and on the other, you've got the false lion, which is linked to the serpent, the beast, and this roaring lion seeking to devour. It's presented as a direct, one-to-one opposition.
But here's where things take a really interesting turn. The source claims the serpent isn't some external evil force. No, it's internal. It represents our primal mind. You know, that part of the brain that runs on instinct and fear. And in this framework, that primal mind is like a guard, and it's blocking the path to true enlightenment.
And this idea of an internal battle, well, that brings us right to our third section, the temple within you. Because if the conflict is inside, the source asks, then where is the holy ground? And the answer it gives is your own body.
This is where the source completely flips a core concept on its head. It claims the kingdom of Elohim, or what's often called the kingdom of God, isn't some external place you go to. It's a state of being located inside your own body. Your body is the living temple, designed for the Creator's presence.
It's like the text creates this sacred map of our own anatomy. The 33 vertebrae of your spine, that's the tree leading to the kingdom. The pineal gland, right in the center of the brain, is called both the Garden of Eden and the Ark of the Covenant. And the brain's 2 hemispheres are described as the wings of the cherubim that guard this sacred center. Pretty wild, right?
Okay, so if the kingdom and all its sacred parts are literally inside the body, the next logical question has to be, how in the world do you unlock it? Well, our final section explains the path to this awakening, just as it's laid out in the source material.
Okay, so the path itself is described as a consuming fire. It all starts by accepting the word, which is said to ignite a fire in your belly. This energy then travels up the tree, your 33 vertebrae, and it all culminates in opening the pineal gland, which it calls the almond bud. And that's what supposedly unlocks enlightenment.
And this is where a pretty big conspiratorial layer gets added. The source claims this knowledge isn't just lost by accident, it's been actively hidden from us.
The text alleges that this is the core secret that's understood and used by groups like 33rd degree Masons.
According to the source, these so-called rulers of the world use this secret knowledge to control humanity. And the accusations are direct, that they've stolen our divine identity, silenced our souls with false teachings, damaged our bodies through their systems, and led all of us to worship false idols.
And the text gets super specific about the tools of this idolatry. It points to major religious symbols themselves, claiming that the cross, the Star of David, and symbols related to Saturn are actually veils that bind the three major world religions to this whole system of deception.
And as we're getting close to the end, the source leaves us with this one last kind of mind-bending thought about reality itself. It suggests that this world we see every single day, it isn't the true reality at all. It's just a shadow of what's to come.
So, at the end of the day, this entire belief system really boils down to one core idea. The truth isn't found out there, but within. The final challenge it offers is to question everything you perceive. The source doesn't claim to have all the answers, but it sure does leave us with a powerful question. What is the nature of the reality you perceive?